Coachella Valley. Expect sunshine throughout the afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I'm so excited to have each and every one of you on today's show. We got lots to talk about, and information actually coming about, of course, coronavirus. We have to talk about that. Obviously, there is something for especially your loved ones who are 50 and above. I know I'm already scheduling that for my mother, who is at risk as well, and we're making sure that she gets that taken care of sooner than later. I know it's not available for anyone under 50 just yet, but I'm pretty sure they will have that in the days ahead as they get more supplies. But at in the meantime, you can at least take care of that with your family and say, hey, by the way, go ahead and schedule. I know she called up the pharmacy that she went for her, what I will call fall edition of 2021, and they said, yeah, you just need to either A, walk in between these hours and or make an appointment. So I said, all right, well, let's do it Monday or Tuesday. So we're going to do that most definitely and get that taken care of. But having said that, there's a lot of things in the world. I know we're watching Russia, we're watching Ukraine, and most recently, I know, Jesse, you and I were talking about Chernobyl. We were talking about, again, radiation. Why are they kind of in Chernobyl, and why are they kind of stationing there? I saw a report recently, and it was interesting, and I said, well, I'm glad at least they're getting awareness of it, but I think for the soldiers there from Russia, it was probably the dumbest thing since sliced bread, because now they're getting radiation sickness. And anybody that's ever done any research on radiation sickness, it is bad. You have repercussions for years to come, because basically you are like a living radioactive human, So I don't know. What do you think there, Jesse?
Yeah, I'd probably think that's the stupidest move ever. Yeah, no, just the fact I wouldn't if I was a Russian soldier, I wouldn't even want to go near Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just 1,000 feet away or 1,000 miles away. I don't want to be a zombie, but yeah, no, just radiation sickness in general is I would not even want to experience something such as that.
Yeah, I'm there with you as well, and I'm like, well, at some point it's going to come out that again, somebody gave them the wrong information. They were digging trenches in radioactive area. I know. Thank you, Jesse. You always do that just at the right time. We're like, yeah, what are you guys thinking? Like, somebody did it for them. I guess they thought they got the power in them. You know what I mean? Captain Planet to the rescue. Yeah, not right.
Or like Captain Radiation. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going on. But we have some really good information still during the whole day. Yes, we got a couple of great interviews scheduled lined up a little bit later. If you actually got a chance, and even if you haven't, one of the great things that you should probably check out is on Netflix. And I'm talking about Selena, where you have one of the great dancers and choreographers of that here today, Emily Alabi. She's actually guest starring on some episodes of things that you probably have seen or have not seen, but I say get caught up on. Magnum PI, The Rookie. Yeah, she's going to be actually coming out very soon with The Rookie, which I'm not going to lie, Jesse, I've actually wanted to see that. I just haven't gotten around to it. So now I'm like, okay, at least now I have motivation to go see it, right?
Right, The Rookie. I want to say I know what show that is. Is that the one with Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, that's the one.
I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. Where he basically let's see, it's actually inspired by a true story. That's the interesting thing. I don't think people know that part, so I think it's good to know that John Nolan is the oldest rookie in the LAPD. I wouldn't say oldest. I would say later in life gets to know about being a officer of the law. Right? He's that guy. At an age where most people are at the peak of their careers, he casts aside his comfortable small town, and then they have a ... So it's like, okay, so what happens next? So she's going to get started on that. Very excited to talk to her. She actually performed. If you got to see the latest Oscars, then you saw her perform in a very big setup with a bunch of others on stage, and that's pretty exciting. So that's always neat to be able to get that in your what I will say, probably like your little the feather in your hat, she was doing some pretty good stuff, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later, and I'm excited about that because it's always one of those things where you go, okay, there's things that you always remember in life, and there's some things that you just go, you know, like, what are you going to tell your family later on in life, right? So she has this great, beautiful red dress, and you saw her with the performance, especially with the whole team there. And so, she is going to briefly probably talk about that, but we're probably going to talk about more of her acting and all the other stuff that she's doing really well. So it's really exciting. But again, go check out Selena on Netflix. You're going to be excited about that. Now, coming up next, though, I'm telling you, we are excited about this because, it's not every day you get to have somebody that is behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, helping people with their lines, helping people with the script, especially when you put it all together and then you make it really good. And what I'm talking about is something that is sometimes not understood fully. I know sometimes people have a curiosity about it, but they don't know exactly what they're going to do about it. And what I'm talking about is Let Go. It is a film, actually, made in whole and in part by a really great team. And whenever you see films like this, you go, wow, what is the overall thing about it, right? But you never think about the behind the scenes. So we're speaking now to award-winning editor Carla Roda. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Carla.
Good morning. Welcome. Happy April's Fool.
Oh, no, don't say that. We're just going to do a fool on everyone. No. No, here's the great news and the exciting thing about this. Carla, obviously, you've been doing what I will call film for quite some time. You did a lot of, and still do a lot of, documentary work. But this film, I'd like to talk about this because this film is different than a average film. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So this film, it was a very long process. It started back a long time when I was in college. Something happened in my life where I had a friend that had an accident that became tetraplegic, and I think what's happening, or what the message of this film is, when something that bad happens, you're trying to help other people. You're trying to put yourself there for them and just almost give up your life for them. And sometimes you have to realize that sometimes you do need the help too. You get consumed on somebody else's problems, and then you forget to take care of yourself, and then mentally it's just a disaster. So the message of this film is basically to let go of things that cannot be done, but even though you want, and just take care of yourself.
I like it already. And I know you're still working on it. So it's going to be, do you have because I know we all have deadlines and we have dates. I know you've already done 3 short films and 1 feature film. And of course you've been picked up by Screen Media for one of your other things that you finished, which was The Green Wave. So you're not what I will call, there are so many people that write a script and they want to direct it, they want to produce it, they want to do all the stuff, but rarely do they want to edit it, which you actually have a nice little background in that, right?
Yes. As I always say, for me, directing and editing is really not that far apart, because and I think we were commenting about it before. It's just when you are directing, it's almost like you are editing at the same time. When I directed my last feature film right before the pandemic, while I was directing, the cameras were asking me, but don't you want this shot? Do you want? I was like, no, I don't need it. I know how it's going to edit, so I don't need to overshoot. So actually that helps me. And then when I'm on the editing side, when a director comes, it's almost the same. It's oh, I have this footage, I don't know how to put it together, so it makes sense. I was like, don't worry, we will make it work. And it's almost like directing while you're editing at the same time. So yeah, so I think both are really, really connected, even though people say, oh, one is production, the other is post-production. I was like, no, it's really connected. You just have to see the point in common.
Yeah, and I appreciate that more than most. I think, if anything, people need to understand that, again, there's a lot of work that goes on in front of the scenes, but in what they call always post-production, right? That's the part that takes probably the majority of time, because you could shoot a film in 8 to 12 days nowadays, whereas before, back in the day, it was 20 to maybe 80 days or so. we're able to kind of scrunch that down. But now with technology being what it is, you're able to get the we're almost there with 8K and above film quality. But I gotta ask, what is your thing that you must have that you never can get rid of ever?
In the technical side, well, I there's so many things I can get rid of it, but I think for me it's always like getting out of the technical side. I think it's always the support. I think movie industry, it's so much about collaboration. You know, even though like editing, I'm like at my office like working alone. I appreciate so much my assistant editors, my like story producers, and all of that. So it will be really hard to like go into this world like just like, and it almost happened with the pandemic, right? Like we had to stop going into offices and everybody was but then you know we just went into as a community, it was like, oh, we're just gonna use like zooms, we're just gonna use jump desktop to just communicate. So I think like for me it's basically like the aspect of like the collaboration aspect. I will not be able to do what I do if I don't have the support that I have.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense. I will say, it's one of those things where, again, film is great, but being able to see it as it's kind of being done is probably better, and that almost helps the production budget. Nobody talks about the budget of it all, but you kind of are like three hats in one. You know what I mean? You're the filmmaker, writer, and then the if you want to, you can edit it, or you can group up with a team of editors. Have you ever worked with a team of editors, and does that help or hurt the situation?
Yeah, so I actually I recently wrapped a docu series that it's coming up in HBO soon, and it was 4 episodes, and you know even though I was one of the main editors, I had like 3 other editors coming in and out and just helping with other sections. It's really helpful when you have tight deadlines, of course, but it's true that sometimes every editor has their own style. So we just then at the end, it's like you still have to go through it as a main editor and just make sure that everything matches to your style or your technique of editing. So it does help, but sometimes depending on the project could just actually be more time spent afterwards.
That's interesting. I'm looking at Soul Pancake. Is that anything having to do with that, or is that a different one? Because you're working on several different things.
Yeah, so no, Soul Pancake was so we did a docu-series as well right before the pandemic. It was called Trust Me, I'm Sick. And it was a docu-series about talking about chronic illnesses, illnesses that they cannot be visible, like, for example, lupus, fibromyalgia, kidney disease. I don't know, things that, it's like to say, oh, but you look great. They say, it's like, oh, I'm sick. Oh, but your face looks great. I was like, no, it's my illness is inside me. So we wanted to make visibility these kind of chronic illnesses. So we did this docu-series. It was like 4 episodes, and Soul Pancake bought it, and they put it on their channel, and it just blew up somehow.
That's really neat. That's with Rainn Wilson and a couple other really great people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those really neat stuff. I'm a huge fan of Rainn Wilson ever since The Office. But look, I guess the moment of reality kind of hits when you get to show it to the public, and the ability to show that to the public. I know everybody has like a little thing whenever we ask them in Hollywood or in entertainment, but it's that moment of, when you hear the oohs, the ahs, or the silence, or all of a sudden you kind of look around and you see a tear being shed. What's that moment like? And when's that moment ever like a thing that you go, you know what, I did it right?
Yeah. Well, it's hard for me because every time I do a premiere, even though you will think I will be sitting watching it, I'm always behind in near to a door just in case. Like I get really, really nervous. My parents are both like actors in the entertainment industry. So when I used to go to see them in plays, I will literally see them multiple times. So I will remember them at the end. And while they were performing, I was like, oh, they mistake. So I had to leave because I was getting so nervous. So I adopted that to the movies too. So every time I have a premiere, I just get so nervous. But it's true that as soon as I see somebody laughing at the moment that I was supposed to make somebody laugh, or I see somebody crying at the moment I was supposed to make somebody emotional or feel for that character, it's really, really rewarding. But it also all comes afterwards, you know, when the movie is done and then people comes to you and says like, oh my God, that was great. Thank you. I learned so much. Because I think ultimately my goal is always like not make people, sometimes make people uncomfortable for whatever topic, but make people think about it. Like, you know, it's just like when you finish the movie, when you finish the documentary, it was like, what did you learn from it? And what do you gonna do to change? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does make sense. And it makes a lot of sense, especially, you know, I'm looking at some of your film credits, including what is known as an alternative narrative to Ben Stiller's Showtime limited series, We Stand Corrected.
Yeah.
You know, you've got several Vote Neil, original thinkers. You're not opposed to winning, it looks like. Are you going to give the mantle off to anyone? Because it looks like everything you do, it's always a winner.
Yeah, I mean, for example, just going back as well to that, like the Ben Stiller alternative documentary, that one I had to have really tough skin because it was one topic that you either hated or you loved it. So, you know, it's on Amazon, you know, it got picked up by Amazon. And, you know, when you start seeing all the criticisms, because the topic is about like correctional officers and escape, you know, if you have seen Escape de Nemora from Ben Stiller, you know exactly. So we are telling the story from the other side. So, you know, so you can always have like the haters. So you have to have really tough skin with things like that. Vote Neil too, you know, it's about politics. It's about a Democrat, like an openly gay Democrat in Alabama, you know, so we couldn't just go really different ways. So it's just, I always try to grab topics or choose topics that I know that even though they can be controversial, I know that by doing it, we're like trying to explain or trying another reality or trying to explain like something that has to be talked, that it should not be a taboo, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, I know we got to let you go. I know you're on a media tour around the world, so we will let you do that exact thing. But for those that want to follow you, how can we follow your career and follow all the great stuff, including this film that's going to be coming out quite soon? Do we have a date yet for Let Go?
We don't, like, because of the pandemic, we got like so much postponed, but let's hope like the beginning of next year we can have something.
All right, that's what we're looking for. All right, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so very much for spending time with us here on the show. We will see you around the corner. Congratulations on all the work you're doing.
Thank you so much.
All right, more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
When it comes to health and well-being, cellular hydration is the key. You could say that hydration is the key to every wellness program. And structured water in its natural state, is the key to cellular hydration. Most of the water available to us has been processed for purity, safety, and convenience. But processing causes water to lose its natural hexagonal structure, with unfortunate effects for our bodies. Now you can take your personal hydration to a whole new level with the glassware that restructures water in just 3 minutes. Golden Ratio Products brings you these amazing water bottles, carafes, and drinking glasses which put the life back into the water you drink. Try it and you'll be amazed at the effects you feel in your body. Go to goldenratioproducts.com for the next phase of your water consciousness.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
If you have bad credit, listen up. The next 60 seconds can change your life. I'm about to let you in on a professional secret the credit repair industry doesn't want you to know. You don't have to pay upfront money to get your credit repaired. In fact, it's illegal. If a credit repair company knows what they are doing, Shouldn't they fix your credit first and then ask for payment? And if they don't fix your credit, you shouldn't pay a dime. Credit MRI has been in business for over a decade, and we don't charge upfront or monthly fees, and you'll only pay us if we are successful at removing negative, outdated, or unverifiable information. Call us now, 888-566-9997. That's 888-566-9997, and let us show you the right way to do credit repair. Credit MRI. Fix now, pay later.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, and we're watching the headlines quite closely. Lots of questions about, and well, a lot of answers about things going on, including this. Well, there's so much, Jesse. I don't know which one to start with. I don't know if I want to start with the war or if I want to start with coronavirus, but I'll start with this one because it just sounds interesting, and it's almost one that you would be like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, but it's not. All right, and let me just get your opinion on this. How does this sound?
It does. You had me with mutant, and then you lost me with coronavirus.
Something really cool, right? I was thinking, like, did they discover the X gene? No, it's nothing like that, unfortunately. We hate to say it. Nope, it is just the worst thing possible. And this is an interesting virus that they're getting more information on. I say don't ever turn your back on this thing, ever, because the moment you do, it will have you in the way that you do not want. The variant, and we've been talking about this for some time, and I almost feel like a dead record, seriously. But this is what they're showing, okay? And this is the variant. The CDC announced this week that the 2 variant, which is reportedly 30% more transmissible. I've seen some reports being that it's 48% more transmissible. So I don't know where these numbers are coming from, but it's become dominant among new cases sequenced in the United States. That's here. Of course, that's a huge rise. That, of course, they didn't see in January and February and or beginning of March, but they've been seen as of the latter part of March, which now we're getting the numbers in. According to this, there's even more news. There are actually 3 new variants that have been given designations. According to a recently released report from the UK Health Services Agency, the 2 being called XD and XF are combinations of Delta and OM1, or so-called Delta. I hate saying that name. I'm not going to say it. But it kind of a cross between Delta and Om. Okay, we'll just say that. Which have been talked about for months, but made no significant inroads in any country. Meaning they really didn't know what it meant. So now they're renaming those as combinations. So this is going to be very confusing to people, because now it's going to sound, Jesse, kind of like, and I hate to say this, but I need to say it. You know how people have editions of vehicles? You're like XE, X, you know, the bigger luxury version. Basically, that's where I think people are gonna be like, what? So now they're designated XD and XF, and the worst, evidently. XD is present in several European countries. Yeah, I know, Jesse. I know you're feeling it, huh?
Yeah, I'm just like every time I hear like a new strain comes out, it's always, oh, it's worse than the last one. It's always worse than the last one.
Okay, so get that in your head. Now you got XD and XE. Basically, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the ones that I would focus on. Okay, whatever coronavirus you get in the next 3 to 8 months, it's going to be one of these. Okay, now the combination of ones is what kind of confuses people. But here's the information they have. Like the other 2 arrivals, XE as a recombinant strain, meaning it is made up of 2 previously distinct variations. XE is made up of the original OM1, and the newer OM2. So again, when you think you're aware you have OM, remember which one you have. Okay, so this may be a combination. So XE is a combination of OM1 and OM2. XD is a combination of Delta and OM, which I already know killed a friend of ours, which we had to, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but, bury. So the World Health Organization has issued a report yesterday with some findings about XE. The document reads this: the XE recombinant was first detected in the United Kingdom on January 19th, and well over a good amount of sequences have been reported and confirmed since. Early estimates indicate a community growth rate advantage. It says a lot of stuff. Basically, look, we're not through the end of it all, okay? Now, having said that, there has also been some new news that the Senate actually did pass, which, when we're talking about rent, there are new things to help you with that, okay? And we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But coming up around the corner, we're going to be introducing a actress, dancer, everything and then some lady. You're going to want to follow her on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Emily Alabi. She's going to be joining us in just a bit. We'll be talking to her just around the corner. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Ruth didn't know she was leaving for good. She knew he would kill her. Could she save herself? Did she feel she was worth saving? How could she best protect her children? To love, honor, and betray, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her true tale, from submissive to survivor, then thriver, now living a proud, purposeful life as an optimistic, inspiring, peaceful warrior. Can a person heal from feeling the guilt of a decision altering many lives? Weighted by living grief, moving through lessons learned, self-discovery, and land in self-love? Can someone who's been abused in every way move to self-trust, confidence, and arrive at living in peace? To love, honor, and betray. A sincere, honest letter to herself and her adult children. Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her story so that others may also find the inspiring, peaceful warrior within. Amazon worldwide, Barnes & Noble, RuthTunnicliffe.com.
The Holiday Inn Express Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for travel time out of the car. On the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM and 98.1 FM. Also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Big shout outs to those tuning in. We got Bobby tuning in. Thank you for the additional stars. We appreciate you. We got Blanca Rivera. Thank you for tuning in. Mark Blevins, awesome. Jane, awesome. We appreciate you. Ted, Rosalie, and Stephanie from, again, Ohio. And we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to say hey to all of these great stars, at least on Instagram and or Facebook and or Twitter, especially our next guest. Our next guest, you would have already seen her if you watched the Oscars in the latest We Don't Talk About Bruno musical segment of the Oscars, which was a pretty amazing event. And obviously, you don't get into the Oscars. Well, I'm sure people try to get in, but she is not one of them that needs to get in, but she did anyway. Emily, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Look, you're very busy. I know you're coming out on some really cool stuff. I'm not going to lie. I have not seen an episode other than the trailer of The Rookie, but I understand you're coming out in an episode of that. So now I think Jesse and I are kind of like on the edge of, okay, we need to watch this now. Right, Jesse?
Oh, you mean like start The Rookie? I've already started The Rookie. I already knew what it was.
Oh, whatever. He did. He barely even knew who was in it. He's like, okay, who's in that guy? Okay, but no, obviously Nathan's doing some pretty cool stuff. Can you tell me about what we can see in that coming up around the corner? And I believe that is on, I want to give the network, but I don't get it wrong. It's CBS, isn't it?
ABC.
Oh, I got it wrong. It's on our own network. Oh, they're going to fire me. They're going to fire us, Jesse. They're going to just get rid of me.
I didn't make a guess, so it's all
okay.
you.
All right. Well, I'm glad it's on ABC, our own network. Anyway, I'm glad you know the information. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, so the episode is called Coding. It's episode 417. It's coming out this Sunday, April 3rd. It's going to be on ABC, and I can't really talk about like the story points too much, but it's going to be a really good episode. Just want to put that out there. So you definitely don't want to miss it. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I have not checked. I haven't checked out Nathan honestly since what was the one where he was the writer in the. It was a huge like fan favorite. He was the writer, and I can't remember the name of it, but I saw him in Firefly, so I'll always be a Firefly fan. But
yeah.
You know, obviously being on that cast, and I mean, you've been on several others, a Magnum PI. How cool was that?
Oh, it was awesome. I feel so lucky because every like set that I've been on recently has just been amazing, like the cast and crew. And I don't know if it's like, it's something in the air where everybody just comes to set full of gratitude and just like this energized energy because we have been in a pandemic for so long. So to just be working and to be around everybody is just a whole different energy. It's just like everybody is just so happy to be there. So,
well, and I mean, I know you're known for your acting work. I know you have the ability to bust a move, as you did recently. Yeah, exactly. I'm not good at busting moves at all. But I would say, like, you would make anybody look good on camera. And I know you did exactly that for the Oscars. But I will say, whenever you're asked to do something with what you love, how is that, like, what does the inner child of you say? Because I got to imagine that must go back some way, because sometimes people, you know, and I say this to parents, never ever take away the fun that a kid has when they're just able to do that. And you being able to perform in the Oscars, what did your family feel when you did that?
Oh man, my family is just so happy. They're happy that I'm happy. But I'm definitely very grateful to them because, you know, I grew up in San Francisco in kind of a rough neighborhood. And so, you know, the arts wasn't something that was applauded or, you know, nobody pursued it. I didn't know anybody that was like involved as an actor or dancer, none of that. And so, you know, in order to get us off the streets, me and my brother, my dad he's the one that put us into dancing. And then I discovered this whole new love of dancing, and that was something that inspired me to work towards something, to kind of get out of my space, my environment, to pursue something bigger. And then dancing led to acting, and I always say the art saved my life. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. My family's grateful, and I hope to be an example for the people that also want to pursue whatever dream that they have, and be an example that, you know, you're not your circumstances, right? So if you have a vision, if you have passion, if you have if you're inspired to do something, you know, as long as you work hard and you stay on this path, you can be and do anything. Anything is possible despite where you come from and you know, your circumstances. So yeah.
Well, I love that you say the streets, right? Because I think sometimes, I mean, you clean up well, not gonna lie, but when you say the streets, I mean, what was around you that you're like, I'm glad I got out of that? But again, you know, for the kids that are in that they can get out of that as well.
Yeah, well, just to give you an example, you know, the high school that was assigned in my district, I had to walk through metal detectors to get into the high school. I got jumped. I would get like prank called, like people just wanting to mess me up. You know, I had to always like look over my shoulder when I was walking. I mean, it was intense. And so when I came here to LA, I was like, wow, I feel safe. I don't have to like look over my shoulder anymore. And so I use that as an opportunity.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just got jumped in LA. So I'm gonna be like, this was in December.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait, you came to LA and you're like, this is safe? I'm like, dang, you were in the area where it was like really bad.
Well, I was at UCLA. And so for the first year I was living on campus. So, you know, UCLA compared to like where I, you know.
Okay, now South Central is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Got it. Because the kids here are like, dang, this is not safe over here. What is she talking about?
I mean, you know, every place has their areas, but UCLA was very safe. Good campus, yeah. So that was my first experience out here in LA, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And so that's why I don't take any opportunity for granted, and I really work my butt off to do my best, so that way these opportunities could keep flowing into my life, and I could keep growing and pursuing my dreams.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. I will say, I know Jesse's thinking, I don't know, Beverly Hills has actually been not that great as of late because they take like big old sledgehammers, right, Jesse?
Right? No place is safe. If you think they're safe, no.
Well, I mean, now everywhere is kind of, you know, kind of.
We just know you could throw down is my point. Because you look, when you know you're going to get jumped, you got to know, watch your six and get that fist ready, which I'm glad you're on the Rookie. Are you going to be able to make some like return spots, or did they just, you know, I think you should be like an officer of the law, you know?
You know what? That's like actually my dream role. Something with the law and like, yeah. I don't know. Anything can happen on TV, so we shall see. But that would be awesome to come back. I loved working on The Rookie. Our director, Bill Rowe, he's also an EP on the show, and he was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, I know you've worked on other great shows, Hulu's Marvel's Runaway, MTV's Teen Wolf, and then I go to this because I'm not going to lie, I saw Selena with Jennifer Lopez, right? And I know you've had collaborations with Jennifer Lopez, Selena Gomez, Sofia Vergara, Mark Anthony, and Jon Favreau, which is a huge list. But Selena, the latest one, which is on the Netflix episodes, I'm not going to lie, I think I need to check this out. What would you say to people that haven't seen it already?
Oh, you should definitely see it. It's an amazing series. They really capture, you know, the essence of Selena, other than the performance part of her. And they focus on the upbringing and how she fell in love with music and fashion and singing and dancing and all that stuff. So it was awesome to come on as one of the choreographers to explore Selena's journey as well. While I was doing my research, there was things that I didn't even know, but because I researched, I was able to find all these videos, and it was, she's such an inspiration, and I just feel like it was an honor for me to be on that show.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and I'm going to want to see this for sure. I think the fact that you're able to be on that and so many other really cool shows, I can tell you right now, my mom's going to want to watch some of this. And I have to say, we got to follow you on Instagram. I guarantee you my mom's going to stalk you on this. All I'm going to have to say, she doesn't stalk a lot of people, I'm not going to lie. But evidently, you know somebody who happens to be a dreamboat of hers. She wouldn't say it publicly, I know it. But he's a guy who happens to know a lot about NCIS, if you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Harmon. Yeah. What was that like working with him? I have to take you back a ways, just as a little nod to her. She's staying safe against she's staying safe against all these coronaviruses. She's at risk. She's a diabetes lady. I tell the ladies out there, if you have diabetes, be aware of it. But again, your Instagram has a picture of you and her, again, heartthrob, Mark Harmon. She's like, ooh, Mark, I can't wait to see him in the next episode. So what was that like?
Mark Harmon, he is honestly such a sweetheart. He made it such a safe space. It was one of my first sets that I had been on as an actress, and so I was really nervous. And he just made it, he was like, whatever you need, whatever you want. He was very generous, and I think that helped me a lot feel safe and, like, you know, give me some confidence to trust myself and the choices I wanted to make. And he honestly, he was there for me, which was crazy because I'm the one I felt like I was supposed to be there for him. So yeah, he was awesome.
Well,
really,
oddly
really
enough,
nice
a lot of
guy.
people say that about him. and I can see why. Again, you got some great photos of just your ability to dance and ability to do some great stuff. Which again, if you're not following Emily, you should follow her right now. And like I say, when you see that one with you and Mark, it's kind of like, sometimes people know the on-screen persona of actors and writers and producers, but they don't know the behind the scenes of everything. You know what I mean? And when you have stories like that, sometimes they kind of go by the wayside because nobody talks about them. But when you did this scene with him, which obviously you're very emotional in the moment. I'm going to bring it up right here, right, so everybody can see it on your Instagram. But again, go follow Emily at Emily, ALABI. You posted this Monday mood, and then you put the crying emoji or the yikes emoji, I would say. Let's be grateful for a new day and a new week. Let's set our goals, our intentions, and make it an incredible week. Feliz Dia a Todos, right? And then you hashtagged it all. You didn't hashtag him. I don't know if he does Instagram. But that moment where you're just like losing it, he's just like a friend, right?
Yeah. So basically, a little backstory. I had been like kidnapped, and so I was like trying to run out of the interrogation room, and so where they had me like held, and he basically comes to the rescue and holds me. And I remember, I never forget, I'm the type of actress that I have to go full out. There's no like, oh, let me kind of half it. And so I remember like full out running out, and he was like sweating. Poor guy. I felt so bad. He like kept sweating because he was really like wrangling me. And the director was like, are you okay? Mark? And he was like, yeah, like whatever Emily needs. Like if she needs to go full out, I got this, and we're going to work together, and we're going to do this. And so positive. And so, yeah, that's what that scene was. And he just held me, and yeah. So I got lucky. Mark Harmon helped me.
Well, and sometimes people don't understand the journey that it takes to get there. They just think, okay, you just, all right, cry in that moment. They don't know what memory you participate in or what thing you get to get you there. But it could be, if you stay there for too long, it could be draining and debilitating, right? So I'm glad he saw it for what it is.
Yeah, no, it definitely is draining. And so as actors, it's very important to have like exit strategies to kind of get you out, so that you can be like human and present to the world, because these stories can consume you if you allow it to.
Yeah, you said once, I want to be an example that despite your circumstances, you can be and do all that you choose to. My upbringing included a high school where you had to walk through metal detectors, an environment where you had to constantly look over your shoulder. Where I am today is a result of simply not giving up and never letting the world tell me what or who I can be. We all start somewhere, but where we end is up to us. And I love that. You says we can all create our own happiness. And you're not wrong on that. So I will say to the youth of today, what would be your message, whether they are in an area where they're being hurt, bullied, or maybe at home where they're being, because you take a lot of strong roles, and evidently that one was a situation where you kind of were the victim of a situation, right? You mentioned it. And what is it about, the strength that you're able to find in that moment and or after to kind of bring you home and say, you know what, no matter how bad it is, we can make it, a good thing?
You're talking role or just like in
life?
I just really believe that we're all meant on this like earth. We all have a purpose. And so I encourage people to just kind of find what lights them up inside, what makes them feel happiness and joy, what things do they love, and to pursue that, because I feel like that is your calling, and you have to develop it. And but if you follow it on the other side, there's something so grand and great that we don't even know is there unless we do what we can to try to figure out what that is. So that's just my, for me, the arts kind of fell into my lap. And from there, I discovered this whole new world. And now I have purpose. And that is what gets me up every day and drives me to do my best and to be my best, so that I can be an example like I spoke about for others, so that they can in hopes do the same for themselves.
Yeah, no, you got it. You brought it home for sure. I will say, I know Jesse's gonna hurt me if I don't let him ask a question that I'm sure is in his mind. Jesse, go ahead. What's your thought of the day for our guest?
No, you said you're gonna be in Selena, right?
No, I was. Yeah,
Dancing choreography.
I did some of the choreography. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
No,
it was fun.
No, it was just cool because I was just I'm looking at your IMDb. I was just like, Runaways. What? Why does that show sound familiar?
Oh, it was on Hulu, Marvel's Runaways.
Yeah, that's the Marvel Runaway show. Yeah, oh my god, I forgot about that show.
Yeah, that was a fun one. We got to do some cool like finger tutting, aka spell work, and then to see it like in post when they added all the effects, it was really cool.
Great. Now I gotta binge watch that this weekend.
You have to.
That's what I gotta do.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, well, we got to let you go. I'm going to tell everybody to go follow you right here, right now. Go follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, all the great stuff that she's doing on Facebook as well. Emily Alabi, again, thank you so very much for spending time with us, and great job on all the stuff you're doing, and keep it positive. I know you're already keeping it positive, and if you could do it here in LA and you could survive, I say more power to you, man. I can't wait to see your next role with have you gone gun training yet?
I took some classes. Yeah, that would be like a dream role. But yeah, I've took some classes.
Okay, I can see that in your next role, and I say congratulations on all of that. All right. Yeah, exactly. You're going to do a punch roll, too. I can see that. You're like, all right, I'm going to do a little. You should, totally. You're laying on your feet, like, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and you could be a new mutant, too. What was your mutant? Were you a mutant, or were you, because you had the ability to do some cool, what was your role on that?
On Runaways, I was a witch.
Got it. Okay. All right. Jesse's like, oh, I can see this. I can see her.
Yeah, it was fun.
What character can you see her as, Jesse?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Like, if I were to pick like any Marvel character.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know what? I would like to see you as Psylocke.
Oh, you don't know Psylocke. Psylocke is an awesome role. I could tell. She's got that like, who's Psylocke?
I'm gonna Google her like right now.
She's kind of like a she has like the psychic powers, and she's kind of like a ninja type thing. She's very acrobatic and stuff, but I think she was in one of the X-Men movies. She didn't have that big of a role though.
Didn't they have Olivia Munn as Psylocke?
Yes, they did have her as Psylocke.
Yeah, you could be the younger version of Olivia Munn, and you would totally rock it. I could see that. And she moves in a way that you could see like a punch and a dance. I'm just saying, can we just cast her as the new Psylocke of the new X-Men? What? They do it all the time, right, Jesse?
Yes, yeah, I'm right. I'm just like,
I mean, Captain America went from Human Torch to Captain America overnight.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Think about it, Jesse. We could do that with her, Emily.
Yeah, I can see her as Psylocke. I'm telling you.
We're gonna start a petition, Emily.
Huh?
We're going to start a petition. Everyone on social media, too. As Camille says, love it. Emily can do it all. Exactly. So keep doing it. Emily, thank you so very much for spending time with us. Keep doing all that you're doing and rock it, all right?
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Jesse, as well. Thanks, Aaron.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a huge break. I know it's a little break. We got to pay the bills here. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At Youtheory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All Youtheory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try Youtheory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. You Theory.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We're checking out the chat room, and let's see. Bobby says Lara Croft, hands down. I can see that. Let's see. Also says, oh my God, so inspirational. Mark Blevin says, cranking up the happiness factory as we speak. And says, yeah, more ones coming in. Batgirl, I see that as well. Yeah, she's doing some really good stuff, and she's definitely kicked butt. Check her out in The Rookie this Sunday coming out. Again, some really good stuff there. Jesse, I know we got to go pretty soon, but I got to say, so you're going to binge watch some Runaways, huh?
I've already seen the first season. I haven't seen the second season.
Okay.
So there's not too much binge watching, but I did actually watch the new Marvel show that came out on Wednesday. I don't know if you've heard of it, Moon Knight.
Oh, is it any good? It looks a little weird, but I'm ready to say, hey, I don't know it all.
I actually enjoyed it. It was different. And what I mean by this is because the main actor is supposed to have dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like multiple personalities.
Yeah.
So there are parts in the thing where he wakes up and he doesn't realize where he is. So to me, that is the most scariest thing ever.
Okay. Okay.
It's like close your eyes and then you wake up somewhere complete. You're like, oh my God, where am I? Oh,
Like the Hulk.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was an interesting show. It was a great step forward. If you have a chance to watch it, watch it. And I was like I said, I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised on that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna make it in theaters, right? Because I really still want to see. Is Morbius out yet? Because I want to see Morbius.
It actually came out today.
Yes. All right. And I know what I'm gonna see on this weekend. Oh, you're right. I'm looking at the show times, all the way to 11 o'clock this night. So it's basically a Marvel weekend, huh?
And apparently, Runaways. I got Moon Knight and Morbius. So yeah, it's gonna be a Marvel weekend.
Now I will say this for those tuning in: check out Halo. It is a huge winner. I can't wait to see the second episode of this week. So if you get to check it out, you have 2 episodes. Because when you see the first one, you're not gonna want to stop there. Even my mom was like, "What's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next?" so check it out on that one's on Paramount Plus. So again, The Rookie starting on ABC. All right. Make sure to remind me next time, Jesse. I totally flubbed that one. I don't know why I thought the other network had it.
Which one did you think? NBC?
No, I thought it was CBS. I thought they had it. I know, I'm so dumb. But you know what? I'm all right admitting I was wrong. ABC, it's on our own network. Yay! All right, people, we'll see you next week. Monday, bright and shiny. Just remember, go check it out. We'll see you next time. Rosalie says, I can't wait for the next episode next week. Yay! All right, cool. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.